Here I sit, looking a lot like my grandmother, and trying to wow you by being the first person to land a video on our class MOODLE. This document from NCTE guideline, it's a pretty good thing. People learn to write by writing, and I think about any craft or anything we do. You don't learn how to wash dishes by watching mommy do it. You don't learn to ride a horse by watching someone else do it. You don't learn to write by watching the teacher do it. It's something that you have to practice. It is a practice and a process. I see that third part there. It's a process. It certainly is a process. It begins with first grade wowing your teacher by being the first one to write mommy on her paper, and grows from there. The hard part to learn is that you've got to edit it, and that doesn't necessarily mean crop it, but make it more what you mean to say than what you thought you said. That's my problem. I usually write things down and think people are going to read what I wrote, and when they read what I wrote, they get mad at me. It's a tool for thinking, certainly. I like that part of it, that as one writes, those things that we didn't know were there kind of come out and land on the paper. So I just wanted to let you know I'm not a teacher. I'm not a teacher by choice, because I think that teaching is an everyday activity. It's something that Daniel Boone taught little Isaiah. Was that his name? Oh, it was Israel. Taught little Israel as they were walking through the woods, taught him what kind of tree was which, and how to shoot his firearm, and the children learned by doing with their parents. They learned farming. They learned, if their father was a baker, they learned how to bake. And you learn, you do the things that you learn them by doing. So teaching as a profession came about maybe of necessity, but teaching has probably got to be harder than anything else there is to do, because it takes a lot of convincing. Maybe a little intimidation. I saw a little fellow who had done something wrong, and when the child was presented to his teacher, she gave him this. Now, what were you thinking? The very look itself had the kid in tears. So I think teaching is a pretty hard thing to do. I probably never will do anything beyond that side by side, coming alongside a person and influencing, maybe guiding, teaching informally, because I think it's really hard to make kids do what you when they come to school. You're automatically the enemy, and maybe teachers feel the same way about the kids. They're automatically the enemy when they come through the door. Writing and reading are related. I had my grandchildren this weekend, and they were lying on the blow-up bed that we have. No, they don't have to blow on it. It has a machine that does it. But they're lying there, and I'm reading to them from Little Women. My grandson was so intently interested in that exchange that he was asking questions about what does that word mean, and when the poor woman said, "Mein Gott," he says, "Memes, what's that?" And I told him. He said, "You mean that's really German written in there?" I said, yes, it was. Reading and writing, it's just so intensely, I mean, entangled, entwined, mingled, twisted. We're all twisted. Actually, I think I want to write because I like to read. And I don't necessarily want to come out with a novel, or maybe not even with anything that someone else is going to read, but reading and writing are the most important things. I don't have a TV, again, by choice. My grandson said, I gave him the book, it was a child's book there, young kids, Diary of a Wimpy Kid. It was one of the several novels in that series. And he said, I saw the movie. I said, okay, leave the book here. But he started reading it while he was here, and he said, this is different, memes. This isn't what I saw in the movie. It's better. It's more. It's bigger. And so, yeah, if you get them, you got them. Writing has a complex relationship to talk. Yes. We leave out words. We skip words and nuances and shrugs and things we do communicate, where with writing, the communication has to include all of those things without them actually being there. And if you don't make the communication clear, then again, the social relationships are affected. And so I am composing in a different modality, a different technology. In fact, I just bought this video cam to put on my desktop because I prefer the desktop to the laptop. Talk about being old, huh? And so this is my very first attempt. And here you get me, the real person, the real deal, in my everyday clothes, in my everyday house. That's something nobody wants to write about. So thanks for watching. Thanks for talking. Thanks for listening. And I value feedback.